Hey y'all, before we begin the show, I would like to say that this show is dedicated to Jerome, Jamin Jerome Saint. He's one of our brethren who preceded us in death a few days ago. He's Jamin Jerome. He has been such a pillar in the community. He has taught us so much about loyalty, love, and light. He's also taught us how to cook crack and also put that work out in the streets. Jamin Jerome, it should have been Louis, not you. But unfortunately, when God calls your number, you got to answer the phone. Jamin Jerome, we love you, we miss you, and we dedicate all this to you. Love you. Rest in peace, my brother. I'm pouring out a 40 as we speak. Tamika, at this point, we just need receipts because y'all telling two different stories. And I already know we feel like Tasha's lying, but I'm going to need you to slap the table with the receipt so we can get this over with. And Tasha, by the way, your man's side chick is out and she says she's spilling all the teas. Y'all ready to talk about it? Let's jost right quick.
Come on, Blazer.
It's a beef for me.
Wah 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 wah. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we are.
Girl, what is going on, girl? What is going on? Yes, I say girl, not going. Girl, look, it's been a lot going on in the past couple of days. Every time I feel like I done got caught up on the tea, something else comes out. Girl, look, let me tell you what's going on. So, we already know that, what's her name? Tamika is claiming that her sister Tasha and her husband stole her check. And everybody was all up in arms like, how is that possible? How can she steal a check when it's endorsed to you or it's written out to you? First of all, let me just say this. Back in the day is 10 years ago because we have changed and upgraded so much. But nevertheless, back in the day, there was a lot of things that you can do that you can't do now. Meaning like you can endorse a check from somebody else, even if it's not written to you, as long as you're depositing it and not cashing it. That's number one. And number two, I believe it. I'm sorry. I believe it. Listen. Tamika told a whole story about how everything went down. She actually detailed information about everything that happened. But my only problem with you, Tamika, is I need you to put the receipts down. Because Tasha went on another interview trying to do damage control. And then she turned around and basically denied every single thing you said. Now, somebody lying and something in the milk ain't clean. I'm leaning more toward Tasha is lying because she just gives me, I'm battered and wounded. So I need to make sure my husband's name is not brandished or tarnished or whatever. But at this point, Tamika, I'm pretty sure you got copies of the doggone checks. You said you paying the taxes on it or you paid the taxes on it. Slap the table with the damn receipts. Girl, let's get into this first clip. This clip is going to be Tamika explaining how it actually happened, her side of the story, everything that happened. And she's going to detail how her sister and her husband stole her check. Now, I am personally of the belief that Tasha and her husband did steal it. I don't know if Tasha knew about it at the time, but I will say this. Tasha, you knew about it at some point, and you have not yet apologized or reconciled or made something right with your sister as far as paying her money back. But again, like I said, I believe Tamika. But we're going to get into this clip where Tamika explains exactly what happens, exactly how everything went down. And then we're going to come back with a little more commentary because we got to get into this side chick. And they say she's from New Orleans. Lord child, the whole city got to hold this L. Y'all check it out and I'll come right back with some more commentary.
I'm pulling a candy, allegedly.
Allegedly, you got me here.
She
got on the phone with the guy who basically at the time was running, I guess, that department, and he basically gave her the address where her checks had been going, and he also told her these checks are being cashed. So she was like, being cashed, and then she wanted to see the checks, and
they sent the copies of the checks. On the back of the check was a fake handwriting that said my name and my sister's husband's name. It was cash in his account.
Wow.
So I like endorsed.
Endorsed. Back then, I don't know if they can still do it now.
Yeah.
But 9 years ago, you could do that.
So yeah, a lot of people, I guess that helps to explain. I know a lot of people was like, how could somebody get your check? Or how could you not know you had a check coming? I didn't know I had one either. It just came out of the blue. Same call she got. I got two from Diane, like, oh, did you get your check? And I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't know it was coming either. So it can happen, like for people who questioned how.
Oh, it can happen. Because them names on the
And
back
then
of
you
that
say
check.
that it was like a fake email.
Yeah, see, when we do business,
this is deep.
When we do business, it's times where we have to send over like not fax over, but scan like our passports or
Right.
so we have on emails all of our information, our social
Yeah.
security, all of us are privy to that. And one of the items that was used was my passport. So when they sent me the picture of the passport, I looked at my passport. I had not signed my passport, but the same passport was signed, which was a piece of paper that somebody forged my name that was sent to them to be me. And then some, and they went as far as putting Tamika Scott something at Gmail and was they were communicating with them through a fake Tamika Scott Gmail account.
There are so many layers to this.
There's a lot of layers.
I mean,
And it's all true. There's no lie. There ain't no lying in it.
so your sister Latocha, I know she's saying obviously that it's not true. She didn't have your check. Is she offering you any kind of explanation about what might have happened since she's saying she didn't get it?
No. When it happened, the year it happened, she was quiet.
Tamika, what's going on? Listen, let me just say this. There's a lot of things I took from this clip. Like I said, somebody's lying. There's no way that this could be so detailed and detail oriented and Tasha could act like none of this happened. She actually gave actual facts or her truths, to what happened. So let's go over them. She said at first she felt like, well, not that she felt like, at first they found out about the check through Tiny's mother, Miss Diane. Miss Diane got all of their checks sent out. Now, Candy corroborated that she didn't even know about the checks as well because everybody's like, how is it possible? How is it possible? But, back when people was operating on actual paper, a lot of things got missed. It's times I done checked the mail back in the day and found a check that I didn't know I had, or you know what I mean, a bill or something of that manner. But we know that at this time Tasha and her husband was living with the mama. But at the end of the day, she said that when she finally got a hold with the people, they basically gave her a copy of the check, and basically it was his name and hers on the back of the check. So basically he had her name on the check, but he endorsed it to himself and was able to deposit the check in his account. Now, she said they even went to the extent of using a fake email, and that's how they were able to communicate back and forward. And as far as how they will be able to get access to this information, she said, hey, all of our information is shared, because when we did shows, when we did travel, anything, all copies of our passports, everything was shared. Everybody had an opportunity or had access to our information. So that's how they were able to get a copy of her passport. But the thing was, when she looked at her passport versus what she saw on the check, she saw that basically the passport was signed when she had not yet indeed signed her passport. So basically it's some high level fraud. It's some high level fed time is what I feel like it is. For them to go to the extent of creating a fake email, allegedly, this is all her truth, but for them to go to the extent of signing the doggone check, endorsing it to themselves, depositing it in another account, creating a fake email and all of this other stuff, listen, there's no way that there's no way I believe that this is a lie. I'm sorry. I just don't, because it's too detailed. And then the fact that basically she says her sister didn't offer her no explanation, no anything. That makes no sense, Tasha, because if you don't know where her check went and you're claiming that you don't think, or your husband didn't steal her check, why when you got your check you didn't ask her if she got hers? Like, isn't that something you would do? Hey, girl, you got your check, just like Miss Diane did. And then if she didn't, why didn't you just doggone ask her, well, wait, girl, if this is true, show me the receipts? I believe that Tasha knows this is true. I believe that Tasha knows this is true. I believe that Tasha knows that her husband deposited that money. I believe Miss Diane had something to do with it. Not Miss Diane. Miss Gloria had something to do with it. Sorry, Miss Diane. And I also believe that that's the reason why she was saying cut the cameras, because that was too much of her business getting let out in these streets. And see, Tasha gonna touch on that a little bit in her interview we gonna play next. But Tasha, something in the milk ain't clean. I believe you knew about it. Even if you didn't know about it initially, I believe at some point you found out about it, because there's no way you got a check, Candy got a check, Tiny got a check, but your sister didn't get a check. That just don't make sense. The girl's not making this stuff up. I believe you knew about it at some point, and if you did, I feel like you're wrong, because as a sister, you should have checked your husband and made him pay her back. You should have asked for the receipts and you should have made him pay her back. Now, Tamika, let me get on you, because see, you going on this press tour. We need the receipts. Show us a photocopy a picture or something so we could shut this down. Slam the doggone receipts on the table so Tamika could stop going around on her inspirational gospel tour acting like she ain't stole your money, fat. We need a doggone explanation. I'm just saying. And then she turns around and say Miss Gloria was mad at her. Had the nerve to be mad at her because Tasha and them done stole her money. Girl, black people, we got some toxic traits in our community, yeah, that we pass down from generation to generation. But this needs to be one that needs to be abolished, okay? There's no way that I'm okay one of my kids stealing from another one of my children. Listen, stealing is the most evilest thing you could do. That's really how I really feel about thievery. The levels of doggone, guttery that you have to go through to steal from somebody is insane. So with that being said, Tasha, if your husband indeed stole from this girl, you need to make it right and you need to pay her back because she said she had to pay taxes on all that money. Not to mention, Tamika, stop going on this press tour and start putting up receipts. You say you got a little YouTube channel. Go on TikTok, Twitter. I don't give a damn. Produce these receipts because the girl is making you seem like you have a problem. Anyway, let's get into the next clip. Now, in this clip, Tasha is over there explaining her side of the story on an interview that I really felt was one-sided. That's just my opinion. I didn't like the interviewer at all. She didn't ask any hard questions. It was all one-sided, as if to basically proclaim Tasha's innocence. Tasha sat up there and acted like she looked like an angel and wanted to be perceived as an angel. And listen, that's what I'm saying. That's the level of con artistry you have to go through to be a thief. And I didn't believe nothing that came out of her mouth. But I'm going to let y'all listen to this doggone interview with Rocky sitting over there in the corner looking like a damn handler. Listen. She needs to get away from this man. But we're going to get more into it with some more commentary. Let me let y'all watch this interview and we're going to come back and talk about it a little bit more.
Was that, and let's take the TV show off the table, out of the equation. Okay. And we talking real feelings here. How difficult was that conversation for you about wanting to do this project on your own, because some people may or may not wanted to hear that?
Well, to be honest with you, the project was for my sister and I.
Mm-hmm.
My husband was very instrumental in making that happen. He had already set calls up the top of 2022 to say the Scott sisters are going to do something else. And we talked about what it would look like to do things outside of the group.
Yeah.
Because the focus was always on Escape. And then there were times we would want to do things and people would just say, oh, y'all stay with Escape. And so we were like, okay, we're not going to do that this time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was us
in
the beginning. And then things kind of took a turn. And I was like, okay, now we're kind of going left and we're not equally yoked. And when I go into a project, like, it's the energy got to be right.
It does.
The love has to be there. It can't be back and forth, no banter, especially when you're doing inspiration. How you going to inspire other people when you're busting a fight? So I chose to just do it on my own. And with that, I think, too, that may have probably set my sister off in a way. Because she was like, oh, we're doing this. So people don't even know that. And I didn't get a chance to talk about it because a lot of the scenes have been edited. It's a lot of editing going on. And I mean, it's for ratings too, and I get it. But at the end of the day, that's my family.
Right.
And you just want to make sure that we steer clear of what people's opinions are.
Yes.
And stay prayerful, the two of us, because we have to go through this in the public eyes. A lot of people go through things and y'all don't nobody see it.
Yeah.
But the way that we were brought up, my mom always said, hey, if y'all got problems with one another, we're going to keep it right here. In the house. When I tell you we can turn over tables, we can fight.
Right.
That's just what it was. And so when things started going left, I'm like, what is this? And then too, my sister, when you like attention, I don't care about all of that. I just want to sing.
You just want to sing.
I didn't sign up for all the other extra that come along with it. I'm not good at lying. I'm just not good at that.
Why do you think that was something that came out on the show, that type of accusation? Why do you think that somebody would say that?
I don't know, and it was strange because she said something about it, and then I didn't know to the extent until I watched it with you guys. I didn't know about 30. It was never brought up. My sisters never said anything about it. Keep in mind, we were together even when Candy and Tiny walked away. It was just the two of us. We
had
did
each
the
other's
So
back.
Def concert when she was pregnant. That's why I'm like, where's all this stuff coming from? But it's very unfortunate that we're in this space. But, sometimes people don't want to hear the truth when the lie is so much more entertaining.
So I just had to jump in right here really quick, and I'm going to let y'all hit the rest, but I had to jump in right here. typically what people who steal do is they lie, and they have to tell another lie to cover up another lie. And it's a couple things she said in this part of the interview that really struck me. So the first thing was, instead of her taking responsibility for wanting to go solo and always wanting to go solo her entire doggone career, she decides to drag her sister into it by saying it was supposed to be a thing for both she and I, but because the energy, so-called energy, was off, I decided to go and do it by myself. Listen, I'm not saying that there were never discussions about them doing some stuff together. I'm pretty sure that happened. But the thing about it is, Tasha, this is not your first time trying to go solo. Like, you've done this so many more times in the past, and it's never worked out, but you've done it. But I don't understand why you feeling like you're trying to pull her in it is going to make you look any better. Because, see, I get what she's doing. She's pulling her sister in it by saying, it wasn't just me. It was both of us. You know how them kids, when one get in trouble, instead of them feeling like they're going to get their behind whipped themselves, they want to drag the other person in. Mama, it was me and cousin. It was me and us. That's what Tasha just did. Because now you want to make it seem like you wasn't the only one scheming. It was you and your sister. And at the end of the day, Tasha, your behavior has shown that you are the one that schemes. You are the one that does this. And it really bothers me that you feel like you needed to include her in your BS because that was a way to get you out of it. And I just don't like that. And this is why I can't be around thieves, because thieves are one of the worst liars. Speaking of, she goes on to say that she's not a good liar. Obviously, because nobody believes you. Then she says that her mama was the type of person to keep our business in our house. That's what I mean when I say that blackism that we have in the black community. Oh, you better keep our business in our house. You better not go out and tell nobody what's going on. Listen, I get it to a certain extent. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, some people need to be called out. And I'll be damned if I'm not going to be able to call somebody out because that's something that should be kept into my mama's house. That's BS and that's tomfoolery. And that's why, Tasha, you were able to have this interview and talk the way you talking, because nobody knows the truth except you, your mama, your sister, and Rocky. Nobody knows where the truth is in this except y'all. But at the end of the day, like Tamika said on another interview, she felt cornered, and her way to come out of being cornered was just to let them know, hey, this is what happened. Tasha, if this is true, there's a special place in hell for you. I'm telling you. And then to go as far to say I didn't know the extent of what was going on with the thievery until I watched it with y'all. Tasha, I'm calling cap. I'm calling so much cap, it's ridiculous. There's no way you didn't know until you watched the show with us. That is impossible. You're not gonna make me believe that y'all never had a conversation about this girl's money up until, as far as in the detailed experience, up until the doggone show. Tasha, you are a liar. And listen, like I said, you can go over to the gospel side, the inspirational side, thinking you're gonna seek savior over there, but them women are just as cutthroat. You got to know that. You got to know that. Let's get into the rest of this doggone interview, because Tasha blew me on this, girl. And to the interviewer, you was very biased and one-sided, but we're going to talk a little more about it. Listen to the rest of this interview.
And I can tell you, from an inspirational point, we all know that God is a way maker, right?
Yes.
But do you, and again, we took the TV show off the table, do you still see a mend between the two of you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, and it's been said that she did it for TV. Sometimes people want that light to do spinoffs and other stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then at the end of the day, it's my sister. So she's probably like, okay, when the TV turned off, I'm about to go back to...
And that's hard to do that.
Yeah, I mean, because people look at it like you said those things. But she did the same thing to Candy. She had to come back and apologize the last show. So I don't know. Is there going to be an apology for me too? Yeah.
And see, I've done reality TV. Now, so maybe not on the level, right? But I do know.
So maybe you could shed light on how it's edited. And
you have no control over the editing room.
No.
And whenever I film, I always tell people, don't you say nothing.
Yeah.
That you don't want to come out.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any control.
You don't.
Over the editing room.
No. Yeah.
My kids have to go back and watch me.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that some of their friends have even found the show, be like, is this your mama? I'd be like, dang.
And for me, like on my side, there was a flashback scene, and I only shot the scene with my sister. Mm-hmm. So they had a flashback scene. The first scene was her and I with the argument. So the next scene, they made it seem like that was way, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, wait, how do y'all flash back to a scene that was never there? It said 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do we do that when it was never a scene there?
Yeah.
So there was trickerization going on. And so people are like, you're the mean girl, you're coming into these scenes. I'm like, my sister just said I was a thief.
Yeah, because when you watch the show, truly, and I hate to say it, but it is what it is. The court of public opinion can be just so so aggravating. So when you're watching the show, it appears like we can't get this together because we can't agree on a headliner. We can't agree because I'm being accused of stealing money that I'm telling you I didn't steal.
Yeah.
And now it looks like we beefing back and forth. And now I got to deal with this outside of this TV show. Take all that off the table.
Yes.
You still have to deal with that as family.
That's family.
Yes.
No matter what anybody says. And I made a comment like, when you're family, you can't do anything about that. So guess what? You can't. So you have to work it out. It wasn't a negative connotation. It was just, I got to deal with it.
You got to deal with
family. So what am I going to do?
Right.
So as we can see, y'all, Tasha is on a whole deflection tour. That's basically what she's doing. She's deflecting. She's trying to pin it all on Tamika, make Tamika seem like the bad guy, make Tamika seem like the person that has the issue, make it be a Tamika issue and not a her issue. How does she deflect? First of all, by saying she feels like her sister did all this for TV to maybe get a spinoff. Tasha, are you dumb? I'm not, let me back up. I'm not saying that somebody wouldn't do something like that because we know fame is the worst drug known to man, and clout in 2023 is worse than that, right? So I believe that people would do this. But what does she stand to gain by outing you if you decide you never want to do another reality show? She can't have a spinoff without you. So I don't see that as a viable reason for her to just come up with a straight up lie on you. And then you try to deflect it even more by saying, oh, well, she did the same thing to Candy by saying that Candy was sleeping with JD's pops. Listen, this is just my opinion. I know the Candy Yams, y'all love y'all Candy. Miss Candy can't do no wrong. But if everybody's saying the same thing about you, it's got to be some truth to it. I don't know if she slept with JD's pops. But I will say this. Although Tamika issued an apology, it to me didn't seem sincere. Not in the way of Tamika just saying, oh, I was wrong, I lied, and let me just say this so I can get it over with. It was kind of on the sense of Tamika was saying that because she was ready to get back to the bag, and she knew that she needed to come back and retract all that shit. But I believe Tamika believed what she said. She said what she said. That's what I believe. But you're using that, Tasha, as a way to deflect off of you to make it seem like, see, look, my sister is such a horrible person. Then you go into the fact of blaming editing. Talking about, oh yeah, they chopped and screwed the dates to make it seem like this happened this day. Who cares about the timeline? We talking about the stuff because even as the host said, and I don't think she realized she outed you, but she literally said, I tell people all the time, if somebody doing reality TV, don't say nothing out of your mouth when you're filming that you don't want people to know because editing happens. And listen, we know that y'all don't have, any say so over editing. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. We all know that y'all don't have any say-so over editing. That's what make it reality TV. They have to make it seem like it's a timeline thing that's happening, consecutively and all of this stuff because that makes for the show. But at the end of the day, what comes out of your mouth and what comes out of people's mouths is what you can control. And that your behavior on set and on scene is something you can control. And it's something that you really, the people in the audience is looking at you really funny, Tasha. People do not like you. And this is what's worse. Prior to this TV show, prior to this reality show, even on the other ones, I never had nothing bad to say about you. But now, your behavior, both verbal and nonverbal, is what make people not like you, including myself. And I don't know you to say I don't like you, but I don't like what I've seen. Tasha, listen, furthermore, let me just say this. Rocky is always there every time she doggone interviews. And if anybody pays attention, he's always there. And he's always close enough to either make eye contact or he's close enough to basically whisper in her ear like he did in the doggone segment when they were asking her questions during the confessional. That is a clear-cut sign of abuse. There's no reason why your manager need to be all in the videos, like Suge Knight said. He does not need to be there. They're not asking him any questions. Why is he sitting there in the doggone corner right next to you, right? It's weird. It's so weird. And for the life of me, I'm not going to lie, y'all, it's giving me scary. It's giving me that you're programmed mentally. You're going to do only what he tells you to do. It's also giving... I'm in control, Rocky. You know what I mean? Like, he's just in 100% control of you and everything you do, and you can't do nothing without him. It's actually scary. It's very, very scary, and I don't like it. And I think that you're so brainwashed and hypnotized that whatever he tells you, you're going to believe, and nobody else can tell you otherwise. I ain't gonna say I hope better for you, because you gotta hope better and want better for yourself, Tasha. But since we on Rocky with his creepy ass, let's get into this side chick. So now the side chick, Unique. Lord, she from New Orleans, girl. The side chick is from New Orleans. She's a New Orleans native. Her name is Unique. You could tell her mama was trying to be unique when she spelled her name, but Lord. Anyway, the side chick has come out and said that she's basically done with Mr. Rocky, because Mr. Rocky not only cheated on you, but he cheated on her too, and paid for multiple abortions outside of the relationship. Girl, I know you lying to me. Unique, you fool. Girl, look. I'm not one of those scorn battered women who gonna get up here and bash Unique just because she the side chick, because at the end of the day, Unique ain't say no vows. Rocky said the vows. I'm not bashing no side chicks. Stop bashing these dudes. That's why they're able to do what they're able to do. Stop bashing these men, and then you can stop the side chicks. The side chicks can't do nothing that the men aren't allowing them to do. So let's keep the focus on Rocky for this. But Unique, you coming out basically saying what you saying, and look, I'm here for it, girl, but after this, I'm going to need you to just go ahead on back into hiding, girl. Now, allegedly, she has a kid for Rocky. Now, she originally came out and said that she, was Rocky's mistress. And Tasha K got online and bashed her and told her she was a damn lie. And she has no merit. And then Tasha K ended up having to eat her words, because girl came with 5 years worth of receipts, and Tasha K's got an interview with her. Now, it's on her TashaK.com live. I personally don't believe in paying for gossip. I'm just waiting for somebody to, I ain't gonna lie, I'm waiting for somebody to leak it or something, or just at least tell me what the hell happened, because I don't believe in paying for gossip. But I will say this, Unique is coming with receipts, something that Tamika didn't come with, but Unique is coming with receipts. Let's get into some of these receipts Miss Unique has. So now, in some of Miss Unique's receipts is basically her talking to him about the ultrasound and the baby, and it's also her retracting her story. So here's the first receipt. The first receipt reads, this is her to her Instagram followers. Good morning. I just want to say I was misled. I was told we was going to be together. He told me he was married, but not in the marriage. That they were not actually together, and his plan was to leave her. I was manipulated into dropping that last post about my page being hacked. I'm guessing for his own selfish reasons. I'm sorry. I apologize to my family and his friends for all the confusion, and that's the truth. So a part of me wants to say, Miss Unique, bullshit. There's no way you didn't know. And I believe that. There's no way you didn't know he was married. I'm sorry. In this day and age of technology and all this stuff, there's no way you didn't know. However, I will give you that I do believe you was manipulated, because as we see, he's doing it to Tasha. I don't want everybody to get in their feelings and be like, no, she's the side chick, stone her. No, let's keep it real. If he's manipulating Tasha in her head, why wouldn't he be doing the same thing to her? If that's the case, you know what I mean? You can't believe it on one end and not the other, because you just don't like the other end. So I believe that. But my only thing to you, Miss Unique, is I would rather you say, look, I knew he was married, and he said he was going to leave her, and leave it at that. You didn't have to go into detail of, he told me that they were not actually in the marriage. Girl, he wasn't sleeping at your house every night. Come on now. Let's not be crazy. We're going to be side chicks. We're going to be smart side chicks. Let's keep it a stack. At the end of the day, you knew what it was. You were just holding out and waiting on something to happen that was never going to happen. Let's get into the next receipt. Now, this second receipt is also something she posted to her Instagram, and I'm going to try to read as much as I can, but it's her, I guess, talking to him, and basically one of the receipts says, getting myself together because you are so good to me. It only reminds me of my mother. I will be okay because you are in it to win it. But just know you mean more to me than what I have shown you. And I promise I will never, ever let you down again. Please don't read this wrong or be mad or sad. Just know that I am in this for the long run. We will be happy, and we will always be together and forever connected because of our child. Love you forever. And I guess that's her responding, love you forever, or him. I'm not sure, girl. I don't have a doggone iPhone. Another one says, baby, you good? And this is one saying, they giving you a copy of the ultrasound, asking, and what's happening now? And she was like, I'm by myself. I'm just waiting for the doctor to come in. Wish he hurry. So she's got some receipts, basically, of them having a conversation, of him acknowledging her being pregnant, him acknowledging all the other stuff. So the receipts are checking out thus far. Unique decides to retract her statement in her story, which is why Tasha called her a liar. But it was all according to her because of that's what he wanted. She actually did a doggone video about it, and she goes into detail, and not really much detail, but she explains how and why she retracted her statement. Let's look at that, and I'm gonna come right back.
This my first rodeo with dealing with, what I'm saying, boy. Yeah, this is my first rodeo dealing with, what I'm saying, mental abuse or whatever. And I just, not just mental, emotional, psychological, like, I didn't realize it because I was in it, that's what was going on with me. Like, that's what I was experiencing. But once I got out of it, and I just was like, I don't want to do this no more. I realized what the fuck was going on. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I was literally like, I was mind fucked. You know what I'm saying? Intentionally. And it sucks. It's fucked up. And thank God I don't look like what I'm going through. And, I've always been, that soldier girl, you know what I'm saying? That's one of my strengths, and I thank God for that I'm able to, face head on like anything that come my way that's trying to destroy me. I'm not afraid. The only thing I fear is God.
Like these last few days, and then I wake up this morning and y'all still going in on me, so I was like, I gotta say something, so, and how y'all labeling me is by far from who I actually am. So I was like, I gotta say something. But how y'all going in on me, I'm not mad. I can't get mad because y'all don't know me, right? So I understand, I get it, y'all going off of what y'all see, I get it, but I was misled in that entire relationship, and it hurts, it hurts. And this not for y'all to feel sorry for me. This ain't none of that. I ain't asking for y'all to sympathize, empathize. Like, this ain't none of that. This is me. This is for real. This is my name. So I have to say something. And I just want to apologize to my family and his family. But I was misled in all of this,
Unique, this is my problem I have with you. I never for the life of me understood women who date married men and really believe or even think that these men will leave their wives for you. I don't give a damn if you have babies. I don't give a damn if you buy them anything they want or they buy you all the stuff you want. It don't matter. And I don't understand for the life of me, Unique, why you feel like you were done wrong. Because in one of your confessions, I believe you said that he was having other abortions or paying for other people to get abortions. So he not only cheated on his wife, he cheated on you. Duh. That's the behavior he displaying to his wife. Why wouldn't he do it to you? And you was probably sitting there being doggone faithful to him and holding him down, as quote unquote, as the girls say, all to be let down just like he letting down his wife. Come on now. Once a snake or always a snake. And I don't understand why you feel like people gonna have sympathy for you. And again, I'm not one of them bashers who sitting up there, ain't healed from my old wounds, because I've been cheated on as well. But I don't believe in projecting that on the other people. I'm not going to bash you for cheating with them. You get what you get. It never really works out when you think about it. So whatever you got is what you get. So it is what it is. However, you're not about to sit up here and garner any type of sympathy from people because you knew what you were stepping into. You knew he was a cheater. You knew he wasn't worth a dime. You knew that. This is not something you thought. This is what you knew. So at the end of the day, you got what you deserved. It is what it is. You got a baby and a wet ass, and that's just that. Now, I get it. He manipulated you, but at the end of the day, you signed up for the manipulation, because the moment he said he was married, you should have walked away, period. That's just that. But at the end of the day, also, what we know is there are side chicks for everybody. Some women don't want a husband. Some women don't want their own man. Sometimes they want yours. And that's just the fact of the matter. But what women, as black women, I can't speak to no other race of women, but as black women, what we got to do is set our boundaries and say, hey, this is what we going to tolerate and this is what we ain't going to tolerate. Don't be a Tasha Scott. You get it? So basically, you kind of got what you deserve, Fat. I ain't sitting up here throwing no pity party for you. You got what you asked for and what you signed up for, Unique. So I hope your little interview went well on Miss Tasha K, because you gonna need the check. And I heard Tasha don't be paying. So you get it. You gonna need the check, Fat, because if he ain't on child support, his ass should have been on child support and would be as we speak, if you ask me. So now she's showing us a receipt of him basically sending her a text of what to say, and this is what she actually posted, I'm guessing. But it says, "What you think about this?" This is from Rocky. He's basically telling her to post, "My page was hacked. I am not pregnant, nor am I having an affair with anyone. The fact that a fake sonogram was made with no information on it is scary. I was once a married woman myself, so I would never ever knowingly date a married man and be a homewrecker. That is not my character. I have 3 handsome boys by my ex-husband that look up to their mommy. It is insane that a simple pic at an event turned into a nightmare. This is so disheartening, being it that I am actually an Escape fan. I don't know what this is all about or who will go to these extreme measures in an attempt to ruin my family and theirs. All I ask is that you please keep me and my innocent children out of this mess." And you can see she responded back and said, "I'm driving, give me a minute." So I guess she didn't get a chance to respond or read it. Listen, listening to Tasha have this interview, it kind of looked like she wrote it. I ain't gonna hold you. Because listen, don't y'all for once be foolish enough to believe these wives don't know their husbands out here with these women. Y'all foolish if you believe that. I'm not saying that it don't happen, but I'm saying more than times than not, they know. Trust me, they know. And especially if they in the public eye, they'd rather keep their doggone image up and act like they don't know, just so they can garner sympathy. Now, I'm not saying she knew or she didn't know, but I'm saying that the text sound familiar. Listen to how she talked on that doggone interview I played earlier and read this doggone message, and it's reeking, deflect. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on, but something in the milk ain't clean. Something in the milk ain't clean. I'm sorry. Something in the milk ain't clean. You can't have a side chick for 5 years and your wife don't know nothing about it. It's impossible. Sorry. I'm not saying it don't happen. It's very few times it happens, especially in a small big city like Atlanta for that matter. I don't know what y'all think about this. Y'all let me know. Especially with Tasha having the name that she has, somebody would have said they seen something and came back and said something to her. Tasha would have known. Again, but like I said, she's brainwashed and manipulated just like this girl and probably anybody else who done had abortions for his ass. I wouldn't let him deal with me raw at all. He just looked like, God, I don't know what these women be, desperate or something. I don't know. But what y'all think about this? Listen, I personally don't feel sorry for none of the parties involved. I don't, because I believe that Tasha is manipulative. I believe that Rocky is a manipulator. I believe that he manipulated both of these grown women, and I believe they both got what they deserve, because you never win when you play dirty. That's just my opinion. Now, girl, I don't know what to say. They got receipts out here with her with the text messages and all of this, and they got him with this and that and the third. They got Tasha out here on a damage control tour. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought. Who y'all believe? Do y'all believe Tasha or do you believe Tamika? Also, do you believe this side chick? Do you believe her receipts? Do you believe she actually have a baby for this man? Do you believe that she got what she deserved? Do you have any sympathy for her? Do you have sympathy for Tasha? Do you think Rocky ain't shit? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say y'all believe Rocky ain't shit. But anyway, drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thoughts are. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on TikTok, and I'll see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.